All right, we're recording. It's happening.
Oh my god, I just started eating.
She just started eating, but it's all happening.
Samantha. Merry Christmas, Samantha.
Merry Christmas, Gabby. This is boyfriend material, and it's happening on Christmas Day because we're dedicated.
Yeah, I know.
Two episodes on our first week. It's very exciting.
We're also wearing Christmas outfits, so I think we should do a tiny fashion show. So, Samantha, show your Christmas outfit.
This is my Christmas outfit. I don't want to stand up because I happen to be wearing sweatpants on the bottom half, and I wasn't planning on having to twirl around or anything. I love this shirt.
I got this from the kids section at Target, which is my
Cute.
favorite place to shop. I get the XL, so like as long as there is really fat children, there will be t-shirts in my closet.
I know, that's the best, is fat kids' clothes. People don't realize that, but they fit so much better.
They have really great graphic tees.
They have great graphic tees, and also I find that the fit for fat children is way more comfortable than the fit for like big-breasted people, you know, things like that.
Big boob problems. Can't relate.
Yeah. So today, what are we talking about? We are talking
about shut up, I'm speaking.
You speak.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. We're talking about the Happiest season, which is the first lesbian Christmas movie I've ever seen.
This is the first lesbian rom-com I've ever seen. I can't think of another lesbian rom-com.
I've maybe seen another one, but this is the first of its kind. Absolutely. Pioneers. It was, what'd you say? Yeah, it's on Hulu. Way to go, Hulu. Way to go, Hulu. I love Hulu. Hulu, it's my favorite, I think.
I happen to think this is the best performance I've ever seen out of Kristen Stewart. I don't know if it's because she was meant to play this role.
Interesting. I have on my notes, I don't even know if I'm like skipping around by saying this. I literally have that I legitimately don't know if I can watch a Kristen Stewart character and not think, oh, that's Kristen Stewart.
Oh yeah, but this character, it's almost like it is Kristen Stewart. It's like, yeah, this is what I imagine would happen to Kristen Stewart in this story. I'm sure this happened to her in real life.
I just also love the fact that Robert Pattinson dated her for like, what?
I forgot about that.
How could you forget? And then she cheated on him with the director for The Huntsman, Snow White and the Huntsman. Can you tell I love gossip?
Was it one of the Hemsworth in that movie?
Yes, the hot one. I mean, that's not very good.
They're actually all really good looking, so that's...
I know, it's kind of insane. Thor.
The hottest one is what you mean.
The hottest one. There's one that is kind of mediocre.
Yeah, the least hot one is mediocre, but he's still good looking.
Yeah, and he's like a soap opera star in Australia, I think.
Wasn't he in, what was that movie where they're all... Not movie, it was like an HBO TV show, and they're all robots. Westworld, yeah. Isn't he like a cop?
I have no clue. I never saw Westworld.
Oh, the first season is beautiful. After that, they kind of like, you know, they don't invest as much into it, but it's still good.
Okay,
so but we're talking about the Happiest season. 2020 film. We are. There's no masks in this film. I like that. They say it's 2020, but
who directed it? Written and directed by who? We're giving the credits.
Oh, we're giving the credits. It is co-written. It says co-written by Clea and directed by Clea Duvall. So she's the writer. She was the director, and she also co-wrote it. And she, for me, when I looked her up, what?
Who else wrote it?
I don't know who else wrote it, but she's like listed as the main writer because she's the director. So they didn't.
I am looking this up.
You look it up. I'll let you be the lookup person.
Okay.
So my favorite thing, the thing I thought when I looked up Clea Duvall was that, oh my God, this is the chick from. Have you ever seen the movie She's All That?
Yes.
Okay. So you remember in She's All That how there's this other artist that she's always competing with who only paints clowns?
Oh no!
That's her. And she's like a total bitch, and they're at a party and she gets drunk and then she puts the clown makeup all on her face.
Yes.
It's that girl. That's who she is.
Okay, wait. It's oh my god, you're gonna lose your fucking shit.
I'm gonna lose my shit
right now. The other writer, Mary Holland.
Why do I know that name? Is she the one
that plays Jane?
I love her. She's the other writer?
The other writer.
She's great. She's maybe my favorite character in the whole film.
I mean, if she's not your favorite character, you're lying. But we'll get.
She's the best character in the movie, but we'll get to that.
Get to that later. Wait, I'm so happy that I'm so happy for her. Let's follow her on Instagram. Show her.
I can do that right now. I can do technology and talk at the same time. I'm a big girl.
You're a millennial.
I'm a millennial. Okay, so I'm going to give you the brief breakdown of the whole movie so that we can get into like the juicy gossip and all the fun stuff.
Yes, please.
Oh, funny. So Mary Holland's Instagram is Mary Hollandaise. Cute. Like hollandaise sauce.
She's funny. I like her.
Funny. Okay, so this is the brief outline of the movie. Two women, they're dating, they're in love, they've been together for like 6 to 12 months.
I just saw a photo of her wedding dress and it was beautiful.
No, I want to look at her wedding. No, okay, I'm giving the breakdown. So two women, Kristen Stewart and the chick who's in the new Terminator movie.
Who looks literally just like Petra Solano. Can you not see it?
Who?
She looks like Petra from Jane the Virgin.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
She doesn't look anything like Petra. I'm gonna ignore that. You know who she looks like? She looks like the girl who plays the girl in
Get Out
gray movie 50 Shades of Grey. She looks like the girl from 50 Shades of Grey, but she's not. It's a different girl. It's the girl from the Terminator.
You think she looks like Dakota Johnson?
Yeah, they have the same haircut and the same color hair, and they're both white, wavy girls. Dakota Johnson is
like 4 feet tall, and this woman is 5. No,
they have the same face.
I will not accept that.
We don't need to even go there. She definitely doesn't look like Petra, so let's not even have this conversation anymore. It's the chick from the new Terminator movie.
Who also looks like the girl on Get Out.
Also doesn't look like her either. You don't understand white people faces. I don't know what you're talking about. Her name is Mackenzie Davis. I wrote it down. So Kristen Stewart, Mackenzie Davis, they're like in love. They've been together for 6 to 12 months. What happens? It's Christmas time. Kristen Stewart is perfectly happy to stay at home and take care of friends' pets. And Mackenzie Davis, whose name in this movie, sorry, I should call them by their real names. So it's Abby, that's Kristen Stewart, and the other girl is Harper. So Harper's like, come home with me for Christmas. And she specifically says, I wrote that down, I want to wake up with you on Christmas morning, which we come to find out later is not possible. Because when Kristen Stewart finally does decide to go with her to her home, her parents don't know that she's out and that she's gay and that Abby is actually her girlfriend. So Harper, not Kristen Stewart, I'm going to get this so confused. Harper asked Kristen Stewart, I'm going to just keep calling Kristen Stewart.
I feel like, don't even try to call Kristen Stewart something else.
So Kay Stewart goes with her and she's asked to pretend like she's not gay for her girlfriend's sake.
But she's the gayest person you've ever seen in your life.
And she's very normally gay. It's not over the top. They didn't go like
she has a big lesbian energy. And
she's definitely a lesbian. Like if you have gaydar, it's going off. But she's not she doesn't drive a pickup truck and have a really short man haircut. She's she's just she's probably gay.
I don't know if we're being problematic, but you can tell, you can see it.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. You're like, if she's not gay, she's prefers to dress androgynously. She dresses very androgynous.
I just want to point out it's 11:11 right now.
It's only 11:11 for you, so it means nothing to me. It is 2:11 here.
listen, bitch. Different time zones.
Okay, so they go home. They're pretending they're not gay. So it's a classic rom-com. Fiasco ensues because there's three sisters. There's Allison Brie, who I love.
Love her. She's great.
She plays the oldest sister, and she's a big old bitch.
Love her.
And that's not even the word I wrote down next to her name. In my notes, it says Allison Brie. Big cunt.
I have obsessed with stuck-up Allison Brie, Mad Men energy. Here for it.
She does have the Mad Men energy for that, with the hair and everything. The perfect mom. So she's the oldest sister, and then there's the middle sister, who's Jane, who we brought up earlier, Mary Holland, and that makes Harper the youngest sister. And there's some big, like, youngest versus oldest sister beef going on between Allison Brie and her, and lots of competition. Whereas Jane is totally not a part of that.
Chilling. She's like unproblematic, minding her own business, writing her book.
She's writing a fantasy book, and Harper's like, I can't believe you're still working on this book for after 10 years. And she says, it takes a long time to create a world. That's my favorite line.
I mean, it's not my favorite. I have a plethora of like
favorite lines.
lines that should be on mugs. But that's a good one.
That was a good one. While they're there, the parents are trying to set up Harper with her ex-boyfriend, Connor, who we'll talk about later.
Justice for Connor.
Justice for Connor. And then also Harper's ex-girlfriend, who is like her super secret ex-girlfriend, comes back into the picture.
It's Aubrey Plaza. So
it's Aubrey Plaza. She's awesome.
Whenever Aubrey Plaza shows up, you're like, I'm Team Aubrey Plaza.
I was Team Aubrey Plaza from the moment she was there. I agree.
Yeah, like, I don't need anything. Like, for me to hate Aubrey Plaza, like, I don't know if that can happen.
Well, also, her character is incredibly likable. Like,
I love her.
I thought she was one of the best, because this whole story follows a very, like, rom-com formula that we're all familiar with. But the Aubrey Plaza character diverges from that, because normally there's another, like, competitor for the person's love. Like, if Abby's the one whose love is being competed for between Harper and Aubrey Plaza, but Aubrey Plaza is not competing for her love. She's actually just being a friend and being supportive, even though you'd much rather her be with Aubrey Plaza.
I know, it's kind of crazy. Like, the entire time I'm like, I feel like, the kids that like just like smash their Barbies together, and you're like, make out. Do it.
Just
go.
Just you guys both have cute blazers on. Get it.
Me. Do it. We're both drinking beer. Do it.
So Aubrey Plaza, or Riley, that's who he brought up. And then then it ends with there's a big fight at a very public, event between the two sisters, and Allison Brie's character, Sloane, has found out that her sister's gay, and she outs her in front of everyone.
It's crazy.
Which is crazy. And at this point, Abby K. Stewart is kind of already fed up with Harper, and she was about to leave anyway, but then Harper denies the fact that she's even with Abby in front of everyone. Oh my gosh, that made me so sad. I was like, oh, this is horrible. This girl.
I hated it. Like, I was in pain.
It was just so messed up. So that she denies her then and there, and then you think it's over between them. Kristen Stewart leaves, and then there's this big like revelation in the family that the family is too into politics, and that we're too worried about being the golden children and impressing you, mom and dad, because dad's trying to run for mayor or whatever. And the parents immediately understand, which I thought was crazy. It's like, yeah, you tell your parents that they suck, and then they're like, you know what? We do suck. That doesn't happen.
It's a Christmas rom-com.
It is a Christmas rom-com.
Like, the two movies that need the conflict resolution to be like done in 2 minutes. So
it's just
let it be.
it's
great.
it's so unbelievable, but we have to let it be, yeah, so that we can get to the end of the film. And then so eventually Harper, her parents are like, go get her, and Harper goes and she gets Abby back. And after Abby's had a serious conversation with her friend John about what it's like coming out, John's played by Daniel Levy. He's actually very funny. He's really fantastic. And then they like get back together, and a year later Jane's book comes out, and that's kind of the gist of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Anything really important? We're gonna get into the details next.
I don't think you did. That's kind of the gist of the movie. Also, like, Dan Levy plays a big role, I think.
He does play a big role. It's weird that he's not consistently in the movie. He's sort of like this peripheral character that we hear from throughout the movie. She's constantly calling back and reporting to him about what's happening.
I kind of like that, though.
I like that too. He reminded me of, you know, in you just said this movie earlier, the movie where you just brought up how she looks like the girl from this movie, and I can't think of the name of the movie. Get Out.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know how in Get Out, his friend who works for the for not for the police, but for the TSA is constantly making phone calls to him. That's kind of like how this Daniel Levy character is.
Yes, that friend is the best part of the entire movie.
And yeah, then they're like the best part of the entire movie, and they come up and they save the day and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we can finally get into like the things we really want to talk about, which is how we feel about this whole movie in general.
Wait, I actually want to know, like, how many stars do you give it?
As a film?
Yeah.
Or as a rom-com?
As a film and a rom-com. What do you mean? Like, no.
Well, I think as a film, are we talking about 5 stars? I would give it a 3, but as a rom-com, an easy 4.5.
I was thinking out of 10, but I was gonna give it a 7.5.
Out of 10. Okay, so that's about the same.
I think, yeah. 7.5.
I can do math. I know fractions. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna work this out on paper, but I'm gonna just say that we pretty much have the same rating.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you, since this is not a boyfriend material episode, this is more of a girlfriend material episode.
Yes.
So have you ever dated a girl, Gabby?
No.
Gabby has never gone on a date with a girl.
No,
Never?
I don't like girls.
Well, you never even entertained the idea. You're 25. You go to art school.
I mean, what?
You go to art school and you're 25.
I know.
Why would you not even try it out?
It's like, I just didn't feel genuine to me. Like, okay. Funny story. We had this joke in art school that, like, my friend group and I would be like, no, whenever somebody wasn't interesting or wasn't like a good whatever, they would sometimes randomly be like, I'm bi.
Oh, like, yeah.
And we'll be like, okay, they're art school bi. So that means that, like, you're not really bi, but you just want to, like, have, like, something interesting and, like, sparkly about you. So you're going to be bi now for the 4 years that we're here. Yeah, it's like being gay till graduation. You never heard that? Hashtag gay till graduation. And there was so many.
A lot of people were gay till graduation.
And I was like, this is... And it's funny in a very, like, strange way, because, like, of course in art school there's a bunch of legitimately gay and bi people, and I'm obviously not the LGBTQ police to, like, be able to, like, tell who's who, but there was this energy of, like, art school bi being like, I'm bi. Hey, by the way, I'm bi. Hey,
I don't know if you know,
but I'm bi. Yeah. And then, like, the like other bi people were like, oh no, yeah, I'm bi. And we're like, okay, cool. Anyway, so there's tacos in the cafeteria. Nobody cared. It's fucking art school. You're not surprising me.
Okay.
Anyway, yes. That is my...
So that's how you feel about bi people. I see. You think they're all fakers.
I am so, like, I actually have a bunch of boyfriends. Like I've noticed that recently.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I think a lot of people are probably like, because my personal thing about sexuality is everyone, you know, it's a spectrum.
mhm.
First of all, it's fluid, and I think everyone is a little bit, you know, likes a little bit of everything, and it's just about how willing you are to try those things. It's like everyone is, you know, like you're probably gonna like, let's say you've never had calamari before, you know, and you think you don't like calamari, but then you have calamari and you're like, it's not so bad. It's one of those things. It's like you just haven't tried it yet. Maybe it's not that.
I understand that
But I'm
because
not saying that you're not straight. I'm not, you know, I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying
no, I
I
get
think
it.
the ability to I think people are
Absolutely.
more likely to be bi than they are to be straight or gay, you know, one way or the other.
That makes total sense to me. Like I'm watching this movie right last night, and I'm
Mhm.
like, damn, if Aubrey Plaza wanted to date me, I would date her.
Yeah, she's really cool in this movie.
Like I'd be like, yeah, like in my head, I'm like, I would like that one checks out. Like she's so cool. But the thing about me in my head is that I just want to be every girl's best friend. Like
Oh,
I'm a girl's girl. Like I have
girl.
zero patience for girls that are like, I don't like girls. It's like a lot of drama. Like guys are like way chiller. I am like, just take all of those girls, put them in a room, blow it up. Hate them.
Blow it up. That's so funny because you know I'm that kind of girl. I'm like I'd much rather hang out with a bunch of dudes. I feel safer there, which just makes no sense.
I was like, no.
But I feel like I could successfully manipulate a group of men versus a group of women, which henceforth
Oh no, women are.
gives me the
I think about this
control
a
and
lot.
safety.
Dude, like being a lesbian must be so hard because women are smart.
Yeah,
Women,
that, and also they have all these emotions and stuff that you have to navigate, whereas men just bottle them up and never tell you about them. And it's like, yes, thank you.
I don't have time.
Time for your emotions. I have my emotions to deal with. Although I went on one date with a girl in my early 20s, because I've always been attracted to women, but I'd never dated women. And it was like probably one of the better dates I've ever had in my life. We went on 2 different dates. Both of them were amazing.
Okay.
First of all, she was like a hotter version of me.
Okay.
Although like not American, she was from Colombia.
I was thinking, like, say, okay, so this girl's.
She's like a beautiful Latina woman. She was confident. She did this thing, like this article had just come out in the New York Times that it's like if you ask a person these 20 questions and like look deeply into their eyes.
I know exactly what I'm talking
You remember
about.
this article? And they're like, then you'll fall in love with them. She made me do that with her on our first date. And I was like, oh my God, I think I'm in love with this woman.
I love her. She's great.
I loved her. Our second date, we went to see, have you ever seen Breakfast at Tiffany's, the movie? Yes. Okay. So we went to see, I've seen it a million times, but I don't know. So we go to see Breakfast at Tiffany's, and no, she wasn't from Colombia, but she was from Brazil because
Oh,
in Breakfast
those,
at Tiffany's, there's
those
a
are
guy
pretty
who
good
speaks
ones.
not Puerto Rican, he's
Portuguese.
Portuguese, and she could tell that it wasn't the right kind of Portuguese.
You would be shocked the amount of times that like Portuguese or Spanish is butchered in
Oh, I
movies.
can imagine.
It's the funniest thing.
I mean, I guess it's just like they're like, ah, oh, Americans are stupid. They'll never
I
know.
mean, season one of Narcos.
See, oh, you told me that
That,
he's not
fucking
doesn't speak Spanish.
Pablo Escobar doesn't speak.
It's crazy. So she and I, we went to go see Breakfast at Tiffany's in this like outdoor movie theater thing that they had in Sydney. And it was beautiful. And we talked about all the other people who were there on same-sex dates. And she was just so cool.
And what
And I
happened
looked
to
her up
her?
today on Facebook, and she's unfriended me on Facebook, I've noticed, even though we used to be friends.
Excuse me?
And she's married now to another beautiful woman.
Good for her.
I know, good for her.
Dude, I've never taken the time to unfriend somebody from Facebook.
I haven't either. I mean, except I have like one
Hold
ex-boyfriend
up.
I did.
Did you have a messy breakup? Like, what did she unfriend you?
She probably just unfriended me because
I mean,
I
she's a
haven't
very
talked to her
private
in
person.
like almost 10 years. So,
Yeah.
and she got
Me,
married. I don't know.
Yeah.
We didn't really have a like messy breakup. It was just more like we went on 2 dates and then I miss that D, you know, stuff like that.
Valid. Please send this episode to your mom. Merry
Oh
Christmas.
my God, no!
Anyway,
Don't send this to your mom.
my mom is absolutely listening. Like,
I know she is.
you know for a fact that every single episode that's out, my mom's gonna listen. She's gonna come back with notes.
Yeah, I already said the C word, so I think I'm already in the doghouse.
No, I think she would like you.
Oh, cool.
I think she would like you.
Well, don't hold her to that. I don't want her. She can make up her own mind. I'm not gonna, you know, she doesn't have to like me. You know, it would help me affirm myself.
Oh my God.
Okay. So we talked about dating girls. What are the parts of the movie we need to address?
Okay, I want to talk about okay, so something I really love about the movie is that it has big like 90s rom-com energy
Yes.
in a good way. Like, and it's funny because I am a rom-com enthusiast. Like, I will watch all of them. I have seen most of them. And of course, like there's a lot of problematic rom-coms like from the 90s, but and there's great ones. But this one, it's really interesting because it looks like it could have been problematic. Like it took all the tropes and it just worked so well. I really liked it. I wrote this down and I don't want to forget the reindeer BDSM.
I forgot about that. That's the first thing that happens in the movie.
That was like the first thing that happens in the movie. I'm like, what is going on?
So at the beginning of the film, when Harper is deciding to ask Kristen Stewart to come home to visit her family, what are they doing? They're on like some sort of walk through Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they're like looking at lights.
Looking at lights.
That Canadian lady, I like her.
I don't know her. I didn't recognize her. Leading the walk.
Yeah, Michelle. She's also on Someone Great, which is a fantastic movie.
I haven't seen that either.
If you haven't seen it, Gina Rodriguez is in it. She's the lead.
It says people's names.
Gina Rodriguez is Jane the Virgin.
Oh yeah, I know her. I like her.
Okay, so yeah, they were on a fucking tour of like lights, and then little Kristen Stewart's being a bitch about like not liking Christmas lights, and I'm watching this and I'm reacting, and I'm like, I am a Harper.
Yeah, you're definitely on Harper's side in the beginning.
Like I go Harper. I love Harper, but when you don't.
Well, then even Harper in the beginning, you know, she's a little bit of a bad girl because she's like, hey, let's get away from all this. And she goes to this one house that doesn't have any lights on and like has Kristen Stewart climb to the top of the roof with her, which is like, hey, this is like breaking and entering kind of. You're definitely on people's property.
Yep.
And this is when the reindeer BDSM thing comes in. So they're going to get off the roof because
it was crazy.
Yeah, someone hears them on the roof and they're like, are you guys up there? I hear you. And they go to get off and Kristen Stewart starts to fall and she grabs on to the...
Very 90s.
Yeah, it is very 90s. She's grabbing onto the... What's this? The gutter, which also wouldn't support her weight. I don't know if you know anything about gutters, but that for sure would not.
Her dad's a contractor.
My dad's a contractor. I know.
We talk about this at dinner.
I know about gutters. I know what they could support. So she's holding on. And there's these people in their house and they're doing some weird sex stuff. And what is the woman dressed as?
Isn't she dressed as Santa?
She's like Santa or Mrs. Santa Claus. I'm not really sure.
Santa. And then the reindeer has a full-on reindeer outfit and then like a...
And she's got like a whip or like a, you know, like a little one of these things.
Yeah, it's a lot. It was a lot. It was great. I loved it.
I used to have one of those. I can't remember what they're called. Riding crop. I used to have one. I bought it for a performance I did for the vagina monologues. Dude,
that's a good play.
It is. I was the woman who liked to make vaginas happy.
Okay.
That's a very sexual one if you're aware.
Yeah.
So that's why I had the riding crop.
I that's what I thought you were gonna play if you had the thing.
Like that's the most sexual one.
Like who else are you gonna play? Okay, so I don't know what else to say. Ask me stuff.
Okay, so how old do you think these people are? I have the answers.
Okay, I'm excited. How old do I think they actually are?
What do you think they're portraying? And then we'll talk about how they actually are so that we can get an idea of what.
Okay. In my head, Alison Brie is 35.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that Jane is 29 or 28, and Harper is 32.
You know, Jane's supposed to be the middle
Oh, yeah.
child.
No, yeah. The other way around. I mixed it. I think Jane's 32 and Harper is 29.
Okay, so you think Kay Stewart's about the same age?
I think Kay Stewart's younger.
Okay.
I think Kay Stewart's like 27 or 26.
27. And then, so that would make Aubrey Plaza the same age as Harper because they went to school together. Okay.
What age did I say? 29, right?
You said 29.
Yeah.
So
which makes it really sad because I'm like, dude, Connor, you're 29 and you're still not over the girl you dated in high school.
Right? That makes no sense.
Kind of crazy.
So in actuality, these actors, Kristen Stewart is my age. She's 30. Mm-hmm. Mackenzie Davis is 33. Harper. Mm-hmm. Aubrey Plaza is 36.
How?
That's what the internet says. She's born in, 84.
Insanity.
Alison Brie is 37, which really blew my mind. She looks great. Not that she doesn't, not that 37's old, but...
No, but she's always looked like a grown woman.
She has, but she always looked like a beautiful, young grown woman.
Yes, like Adele.
Like Adele the singer?
Yeah, I feel like Adele has always looked like a beautiful, young, grown woman.
Okay.
Dude, Adele and Taylor Swift are the same age, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, they're both my age.
Insane.
It is crazy. None of us look like we're 30. We know.
Put it on the group chat.
Okay, Mary Hollins.
Younger than me.
Mary Hollins, who plays Jane, is 35. And Daniel Levy is 37. I just have it on here, so I thought I'd add that.
Okay, so then it's right? I
think all of these characters are supposed to be in their 30s.
Okay.
I would say, because even the two main characters, they're pretty far into their careers at this point.
Yeah.
They're pretty established. And I thought that was important for us to bring up so that we can kind of understand how freaking immature everyone in this film is.
Oh, it's kind of insane. It's kind of insane. How is Kristen Stewart the most mature one?
Right?
At the beginning, I'm like, she's such a bitch baby. But then I'm watching this and I'm like, wait, they're all bitchier and babier except Jane.
Yeah, Jane's cool.
And Connor. We feel bad for Connor.
There's nothing wrong with Connor.
There's literally nothing wrong with Connor. I feel so bad for him. I just wish him happiness. And I loved when Dan Levy just grabbed his arm to feel his muscles.
It was really funny. Dan Levy acting like a heterosexual person in that scene. So there's a scene where Dan comes to save Kristen Stewart and he's pretending to be her boyfriend.
On the lesbian rom-com.
Yeah.
Because we cannot get rid of that trope ever. Can't say I hate it.
But he's pretending to be heterosexual and that he's her boyfriend.
He's terrible at it.
He's so funny pretending to be heterosexual. It's actually really good.
It's great. He's a fantastic actor.
He's actually a very good actor.
I've been saying this for since I met you. Online.
Online, yes. We still not met in real life.
I know. It's gonna be a beautiful meeting and we'll record it.
Yeah, we'll do slow motion run into each other's arms.
Of course.
Okay.
You can run so I can catch you
Yes, we can do
Like,
the thing from what's the movie where the Dirty Dancing where
no, Dirty Dancing.
and you lift me into the sky. Because I think if I lifted you, you're a little too tall, so I'd probably like accidentally throw you over my head.
No, I feel like no, you can't lift me. No way. But I can probably lift you.
If I run and jump. And I'll like lose 10 pounds. Just for this event. And then I'm gaining it right back.
It'd be a great Instagram video. Follow us at BF Material Pod.
Yes, follow us at BF Material Pod. Subscribe and like and comment.
Please, and share. Do share.
All right, I want to talk about why homosexuality is an issue for this family.
Go.
I thought it was interesting that they didn't go the religious route, because this is the thing.
Yes, that was so interesting to me too.
I thought that was a really good choice. Just leave religion out of it. They didn't take the religious route. The problem is that the father is into politics, and everything that the girls do reflects on the father. And so they feel like
Who's played by a creepy teacher on Legally Blonde, and he has a Harvard flag in his office.
yes, the guy who plays the father. What's his name? I'm gonna look him up. I think I wrote it down.
I screamed. Like, whoever did the production design.
Oh, that's so funny. I didn't write down his name. It just says creepy professor from Legally Blonde. That's crazy. Callahan, that was his name. You're right.
I've watched that movie way too many times to not know the name.
So he's the dad. They're trying to impress him and their mom, and the mom is like, typical, politician's wife. Everything is like a little snide comment underneath a compliment.
Everything's a little dig. I love when Dan Levy meets her and he's like, she's fabulous.
I love that too. I thought that was great that he loved her. Yeah. And she's played by Mary Steenburgen, and she's really great. I think she's a fantastic actress. She plays pretty much this character in a lot of films.
Dude, I fully bought it.
She's a great mom. She's the perfect person to play a mom in most movies. Her in Step Brothers.
Iconic.
I
mean, there's a few times that I'm like, okay, my mom would say that. That's the same thing.
Oh, like when she's like, you look so beautiful. Did you bring some concealer?
I wrote it.
What are you, my mom?
Dude, my mom has a thing with concealer.
Your mom doesn't like concealer, or she's like, you need to conceal?
Like obsessed with people having concealer on at all times.
Oh, she would hate me.
Oh, you would not be able to be her daughter.
She would not like
First off, you're not wearing earrings. Strike one.
I had earrings on for the last episode.
I know, but anyway, mommy, look at this, mommy, Mira. I have earrings if you're watching the video. Anyway, and we made a rule that we're gonna wear no makeup on this podcast. So
I would like to testify that I did not make this rule. That is something your daughter chose, and I was like, awesome. I don't like to wear makeup. Okay, I'm sorry I threw you under the bus.
That was completely unnecessary.
It was completely unnecessary.
I think it's funny that the parents in this movie are like such savages the entire time. Like they give no fucks.
They don't. But that also makes sense because they're into politics, and I think that sort of adds up. I thought it was interesting that it's a political problem that she's gay, because I happened to research the political preferences in Pittsburgh, because that's where this takes place. Well, the girls live in Pittsburgh, the city, and it seems like
the Steelers. That's the football team, right?
Yeah. Ugh. Gross.
I know stuff.
Yeah. Well, they're bad people, and they are bad fans. The people who cheer on the Steelers, they're terrible people. So I have to believe that everyone in this film is probably
out of my head. There was this guy in my high school. I just remember that he was like the epitome of evil, and he was a Steelers fan.
See?
I remember this.
I'm not making this up.
Okay. We can talk about this later.
It's not that important.
Steelers is boyfriend material. Anyway, moving on. Doesn't matter how much money they make.
So the parents, this is the deal with Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh, which is in Allegheny County. So I'm going to assume that the parents live somewhere in Allegheny County, because they drive to wherever her parents live. from Pittsburgh, and it's like kind of, you know, in the suburbia country rural area. It's a left-leaning county. There's 55.9% of people voted Democrat in the last election.
Okay.
Only 39.5% voted Republican, and the other 5% unaccounted for were independent. And this county voted Democrat in the last 5 presidential elections.
Okay.
And this is considered, as far as the country goes, as a moderately liberal area. And this is what bothers me the most about the film, is that this girl can't come out in 2020, even though she lives in a fairly liberal area. And they also make all these snide comments about her, like, Riley's sexuality in the film. Like, the parents are like, oh, her lifestyle choices and things like that. They make like these little snide comments. Yeah. And I just felt like that was not accurate about how people feel about homosexuality nowadays.
I mean, it's not accurate, but I'm still looking at this through like a Latin American glaze. Glaze?
It's just, from my personal experience, because where I live is like maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours from Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more than that, but it's very similar kind of people. And my parents are Republican, and they would never say snide comments about homosexuality like that. They might be like, oh, she's gay, but they would never say like anything more, because they're afraid of being judged.
Okay, like, I can see that. I can see that. Like, that's very like Latino too. Like, maybe they won't like full on say something problematic, but they will let you know that that person is gay. Like, this is really relevant information at all times.
Oh yeah.
Like the gay one. The like, what? Like, I'm just looking for a lawyer. Like, I don't care.
I don't need to know that they're gay.
Yeah. The job.
But I thought that was really weird choice. Also, I thought, like, if you needed the parents to be opposed to homosexuality, why not cast it in like a more southern area? Because this could easily take place somewhere in Alabama, and I would have bought it immediately. I would have been like, yeah, you can't really just be out in the South.
I kind of like, though, that it's Democrat area, because then it shows you that the parents are judgier.
Do you think
and they're so scared?
Yeah, do you think it's more that it makes sense that they're Democrat and they don't want it to be out because strictly politics? So like, I don't want to lose voters. This isn't really about how I feel about the sexuality thing.
Yep.
This is just my job.
Yep.
That makes sense.
That which would check out with the scene at the end when the dad gets the phone call.
Yeah, the dad gets a phone call where the donor he's trying to impress the whole film. She is like, I'm going to support you, but I don't know if your daughter, her revelation about being gay is true or not, but can she adopt a don't ask, don't tell sort of whatever policy.
And I found it interesting that he said no.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do feel like Harper would have.
I felt that way too. And I think that Abby, Kristen Stewart's character, would have been okay with that, because that's strictly for the politicalness of it. Mm-hmm. And I felt like that was really unfair to the father, and that, like, because everyone else at the end comes out with like how their life is so hard because they're trying to appear this way and appear that way. And then he also says, I've been trying to, get elected, and this campaign is so important to me because I want to make you guys proud. And I felt like it was unfair to the dad for him to give up his dream, which he's been working for his whole life, just so that his daughter can be out. Not that she shouldn't be out, but it's like, we made such a big deal about the politics of it. Now that we as a family know, and we can be open within the family, why can't we continue to be politicians in the outside world? Yeah. Which I thought was interesting.
I don't know. I really like that story choice, like narrative choice, that like, even though I think it's pretty clear to everybody watching that Harper and Case too would have been like, yeah, sure, because they don't seem like the people that are like up on like Instagram and stuff. Like,
no, they're definitely not like out there like politically about being gay. They're just trying to be together and be in love,
which is how most people are, I've noticed.
Your average person.
Yeah, like, but I do like that we had that moment, because like I don't know, I think is the one time when I see it and I'm like, okay, the dad actually loves her.
Yeah, it is nice because it does give this affirmation of you're accepted. For the
Like,
film concept, it does make sense.
Yeah, maybe they had a conversation about it later and they just didn't show it.
Maybe.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, especially if the donor called back and was like, I really want to back you. Because she said that he could be more than just this election, for future elections. Like maybe the president.
Wow. President with like a lesbian daughter? I feel like, would that help?
Well, we've had a vice president with a lesbian daughter before. Right?
I've only lived for 3 years.
Oh, I'm pretty sure, God, what's his name? Bush's vice president, the one that's like Cheney, his daughter is a lesbian, but it's like they hid it. I'm pretty sure. I'm even making that up.
I don't remember. I remember Bush's presidency, like very vaguely like South Park jokes and stuff. Like, not I was a fucking child.
That's true. I mean, when he got elected, I was still a kid and I didn't care about elections. So, yeah, I understand why you would be even younger than me because you are.
Okay.
How did you feel about the sister relationships in this movie?
Okay, I really wanted to talk about that because I think it's probably the best part. It's what makes it great. I've always had like low-key FOMO that I never had a sister fight. It's like it's just me and my brother. Mm-hmm. And like we did have fights. Like I remember vividly this one time I was fighting him and he wouldn't hit me back because I'm a girl, right? And then he goes to my mom and he's like, Mommy, you need to tell her to stop hitting me because she hits hard and I can't hit her back.
Oh, poor brother.
I was like ready to fight.
How much older are you than him?
2 years.
Oh, so you're really close in age. So you were really hitting hard.
Yeah, probably was. But yeah, when I see like sister fights on like TV, I'm like, damn, that kind of looks like fun. I also kind of like the idea of like having a sister to like be like, dude, mom is doing the most.
Mom's doing the most.
Or like dad, because like it's just like the brother sister dynamics I think are different.
I think so too. I always wanted a sister in that I wanted like a girlfriend to be around and like to ask questions. I definitely wanted an older sister.
Oh yeah, I wanted an older sister so bad.
I have a stepsister, so that's pretty awesome because I have like the best of both worlds of having a sister because we didn't meet until she was like 14 or 15 and I was like 16 or 17.
Okay.
And that was cool because we get to have all the fun like stuff about there's no baggage. Like we never fight about anything. But we can be like, oh, mom is doing the most or this, that, and the other. And it's pretty bomb. I get to be in her wedding, you know, things like that. But I definitely wasn't jealous of this group of sisters because you have the youngest and the oldest hate each other, like literally hate each other.
For no reason. It's kind of insane.
It's so overwhelming and they're so competitive and it's like you do definitely get that they had to compete for their parents' affection. But then you have this middle sister who just wants to be a part of it because she's being completely excluded.
Mm-hmm.
And then you feel bad for her too.
She's the best one.
She is the best one.
Okay, something that I loved, like a small detail, that the parents keep mentioning that the middle sister, Jane, is the one that fixes the printer.
I love that too. And the dad says that when he's describing all his daughters, he says, Sloane is our super mom, Harper is our career businesswoman, and Jane, well, if it weren't for Jane, the house would never have internet. It was such a funny, like, little, like, tidbit.
Who's that person in your family?
That knows how to, I think it's between me and my youngest brother. We kind of end up doing all the technology stuff.
It used to be my brother when I was younger,
mm-hmm.
But I don't know what happened. He just, like, stopped knowing stuff. Yeah. And we keep asking him out of habit.
And now he knows nothing.
Who fixed the fucking router?
You don't
Like,
lose it, you lose it, man.
So yeah, I thought that was so funny, and like a very accurate representation of like middle child.
Yeah. And you don't have any middle children in your family.
No, I don't. It's just me and my brother. Who's your middle brother?
I have 2 middle brothers.
Who has the middle child syndrome? Diagnose them.
They're different kind of middle childs. So like, because you like they say that the oldest is always trying to take care of everyone, and then the youngest is the baby, right? Like those are the very clear. And then the middle child is normally like a pacifier type person, which is what happens in this movie. Jane is constantly trying to.
Yeah, Jane is a big pacifier.
Yeah, she's trying to end all our disagreements and arguments and make things, bring everyone together. And then there's also a type of middle child that's always like trying to prove themselves because they feel like they're neglected. And I would say my brother Michael, who's the older of the middle children, he's definitely more of a pacifier type. And my brother Andrew, who's the younger middle child, he's way more like, hey, I got this, you know, like, check me out.
Is that the one with the fitness account?
That's the one with the fitness account.
Or is that the one with the fitness account? Yes. I just think it's really funny you have a brother with a fitness account. Anyway.
I know, it brings me joy and it disturbs me at the same time. I don't know how to deal with the feelings. It's overwhelming emotion.
I love it. We need to talk about I forgot her name. How dare I?
Oh wait, before we get to her. Wait, who?
Aubrey Plaza.
Wait, I want to talk about the gay best friend John first.
Okay.
Because
I love him.
We did mention him, but we didn't get into it. You love him.
You said
you brought this up earlier that you thought it was funny that they still have a gay best friend even though it's a lesbian film.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny, and they probably like that was something that they wanted to do from the get-go.
Yeah,
because that's like very 90s-esque.
I would argue that it would have been maybe even funnier if they had a straight best friend, like do all the things a gay best friend would do in the film, but it's like a straight like simp kind of guy. I'm just saying, I think both are funny, either way you put it, because it's ironic. But I do really like that they did it. And Daniel Levy is amazing.
He's really good. I mean, I didn't find that he keeps talking about tracking people, and that joke I didn't think was great. But
I would like to have more information on how I can track people.
You download Find My Friends.
Yeah, but don't they also have to have Find My Friends?
Yeah, I had to download Find My Friends because my roommate uses Find My Friends, and I don't like Find My Friends. It scares me.
Well, yeah. So it doesn't work unless all your friends have Find My Friends.
Well, I don't know what he does, but he's tracking everybody.
Maybe there's some way he can like get their there's a link in their phone that he can use or something.
I'm sure there's a way.
There must be a way. So he's tracking everyone. That's why he knows where she is all the time. And what else is happening? He kills a fish.
He kills the fish.
He's supposed to be watching all the pets while she's gone.
I don't understand how having a fish as a pet would work.
It's nice to look at.
Like, that's not going to help me feel less lonely.
I mean, I guess it depends on why you get a pet. If you're trying to get a pet to feel less lonely, I don't think you'd get a fish.
Why would you get, like, I don't understand why you would get a fish.
It's definitely aesthetically pleasing. Like, people who have fish, I think, are more into the way the whole fish tank looks in their house.
I mean, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
I had this friend in high school that had a massive fish tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember looking at all the fishes and asking her if she knew their names.
And she did?
I have a theory that she pretended she did. She would like make them up on the spot, because a thing about that friend, she was a fantastic liar. She would come up with lies like this.
And it was coolest people.
It's such a good skill to have.
I mean, you can never trust them, but they are a lot of fun. I will say that.
And she would convince me of like, it's that kind of person that like would say a statement and you'd be like, no, that's not right. And they'd be like, yeah, it is. and like stare you down and be like, and I'd be like, okay, it's true. It's true. Like she convinced me. She convinced me that Shrek was Disney.
And you believed her?
Yes.
But
I was like, no, Shrek is Universal. And she's like, but Disney bought Universal. How do you not know this?
I thought Shrek was DreamWorks.
DreamWorks is Universal. Oh. So I was like, what? She was like, yeah, you're being like dumb. And I was like, she also convinced me that the tiny hair bands, you know, like when you go get your hair done and it's like the plasticky hair bands that are super tiny. She convinced me that those were the best for your hair.
Oh, those suck.
I know, but she was like, those special plastic. And I don't know if it's because I'm super gullible. Like, I am the most gullible.
I think that's what this is really about, is you're a very gullible friend and you take a lot of shit. Like, you let people push you around.
Hufflepuff.
You are a Hufflepuff. Welcome to the club.
The test says I'm Griffin Puff. I told you. Anyway.
Griffin Puff. My test came out I'm a total Hufflepuff. And
you're 100% Hufflepuff. There's no question.
Makes sense. All the weed smokers would be in Hufflepuff. We know that.
I don't know, dude.
It's called Hufflepuff.
Oh my God. Dude, no, I know a lot of like conniving weed smokers that should be in
Griffin. I don't know why people would be conniving when they're smoking weed. It's like,
also,
you're smoking weed, chill out.
More small Harry Potter break. I also think we can do a Harry Potter episode. Anyway,
yes.
Small thoughts. #justice for Ron. Anyways, I always thought it was kind of insanely fucked up that to get into the Ravenclaw common room, you have to like guess a riddle.
Oh yeah.
Like, bitch, what if it's 3 a.m. and you're tired?
And you're like hungover, you're coming back from like a party.
What? It's just messy.
Is it the same riddle of like for the whole day, or is it every time you go in it's a different riddle?
Every time you go in there's a different riddle.
That's so much. You think also at some point they would loop around and you're like, oh, I remember the answer to this riddle.
Yeah, and like, so you're expecting the fucking 12-year-old to know the same riddle than the fucking 18-year-old? That's fucked up.
I don't know. Anyway. I guess they get used to it too, because it's not like you're getting hungover and coming back at 3 a.m. your first year. You're doing that like your last 2 years at Hogwarts. So you're probably used to the riddle thing by then, and you're like, I know British. It all. What?
You're also British. So they're
British, they're smart.
Since they could spell. Anyways, we love Dan Levy as a gay best friend. I love when he like comes to rescue her without like announcing that he's gonna rescue her.
Oh, and he just comes in the room. He's like, Riley. That's not her name. Her name's not Riley. It's Abby.
Abby. People just go like, and then the mom goes like, "Oh, you're the ex-boyfriend."
He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, and then the mom leaves, and he's like, "She's fabulous."
She is fabulous.
She really is. That dress was everything.
I did write that down in my notes for him, was that he thought that Tipper was fabulous. That's also her name in the movie, Tipper.
That's insanity.
Great name. Okay,
wait, are you gonna have to say something about Dan Levy that like
okay. Something
that I was like, yes, I fuck with this man immediately, was when he was giving her shit about asking the dad for the blessing.
Oh yeah, he's like, you're really sticking into the patriarchy.
Yeah, like, listen, whoever wants to marry me, do not ask my father or my mother. It's not like, it's not their decision. What the fuck? Like, you ask me.
I would, if Derek asked my dad for his blessing, I would think that was very cute. Because my dad asked for my mom's dad's blessing, and like, that's like part of their story.
No? What if they say no?
My dad won't say no. My dad's a pushover. He'll be like, okay, take her.
But like, I just loved that he was like, listen, that makes zero sense. Like,
it does make zero sense.
Like, what?
But it kind of explains the story of this Abby, the Kristen Stewart character, that she's very idealistic. She still believes in marriage and love and following your heart, and the idea of like, oh, this isn't trapping a woman into old, marital bonds. And like, that's not even something she's thinking about, because she's just very naive. And she like believes in love. That's really nice.
Sure, yeah, she's cute. Yeah.
She's very cute.
Like, okay, I'm okay with like letting my parents know, like, I'm gonna do this, by the way. But don't be like, can I, may I, bitch? No.
What if you were like, I'm going to ask your daughter to marry me. I would love to have your blessing.
Okay, I'll allow that.
Because that's not asking for it. It's just saying, I would really hope that you would.
I would. It's okay if you're like, I'm going to ask your daughter to marry me. I would love to have your blessing.
I think that's kosher.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
All right. I have the next thing on my list to talk about is the exes. I have Connor and Riley.
Yep.
We kind of touched on Connor already.
Can we talk about the best friend who's absolutely in love with Connor?
Oh, yeah. So Harper's best friend, we find out that she has some friends from the past. We don't get into them very deep.
They all suck. Like, clearly.
They're very superficial.
You look at them and you're like, okay, dumb bitch A, dumb bitch B, dumb bitch C. Like,
was there more than two? They all meshed together for me.
Yeah, they all look the same, and it was great. But there's one who's like fully in love with Connor.
Oh yeah, she's like.
And I'm like, dude, you're in your 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this man had any interest in you, that would have happened by now, sweetie.
Or maybe you should make the first move, dude. Like, why are you just sitting around?
Yeah, like, she's over it? Like, what? Oh, that was annoying to me.
That was annoying. I thought the Connor character was really cute in that he has no clue what's going on the whole time.
Oh God, I love him. He has no clue, and he's like genuinely wishing everybody the best.
Yeah, he thinks he's showing up, and Harper wants him there. Like, the mom invites him, and then he realizes he knows something's off, but he can't place like that she like is in love with a woman.
Yeah.
Or that she's into women specifically.
Yeah. He's like, oh, like, I don't think, do we ever get a reaction shot from him?
No.
I don't think we do. But it's also like not relevant.
He's really not that important.
It's just a very, I think, sweet character. Like, he's just like trying to like, and he listens to Jane, which I loved.
He does listen to Jane.
He's like,
I like everyone who listens to Jane.
Same. So only Dan Levy and
Connor.
I just love that Dan Levy like immediately fucks with Jane.
He's
like, yes, immediately.
She's cool.
Like,
get her.
Immediately.
Wait, you have a book? Perfect.
Call me.
Because I'm a book agent. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on that.
Anyway.
Riley, the other ex.
Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza walks the thin line of scary and sexy at the same time.
I didn't think she was scary at all in this.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was interesting, because she wasn't scary here, but like she's always intimidating to me.
Yeah, she's intimidating. I thought it was interesting because her character doesn't really do anything funny in this movie, and normally she plays a funny person.
Yeah.
I also thought that was good. She's a really good actress. What did I have? I had lots of stuff written down about her, but now there's so many notes. How do I even find them? It's really studious for this one. So, where is she? I'm so sorry. Riley. I thought the coolest thing about Riley, I don't know if I said this already, but was that she's not trying to get with Abby.
Yeah, I think you did. I like that too. She's just like, because I was expecting that to happen, because that's like the rom-com trope.
Exactly.
And, like, in the back of my head, I'm like, kind of, I can't tell if I want them to get together or not. I just like her so much.
She's just being a supportive lesbian. She's like, hey, I'm a lesbian, you're a lesbian, I get what it is. I've dealt with this lesbian before, and I know what that is.
That's how I imagine lesbian friendships to be.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because like all the lesbians I know are like super supportive.
Yeah, and I thought it was also cool because like you think, oh, they're both lesbians, clearly they're going to be into each other, and they're like, no, some lesbians are just friends.
Yeah.
Just like some guys are just friends with girls in heterosexual situations.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cool choice.
I liked it. I really liked it.
I like that we learn about that the Riley
I like that
story.
they both wear pantsuits.
They both wear pantsuits and like cool blazers.
I thought that was a funny style choice. I like that.
I like that we find out from Riley that the story that Kristen Stewart knows about Riley is not the story of what happened with Riley and Harper.
Yeah, dude, Harper sucks.
Harper sucks.
Like, okay, I literally have this written down.
Okay, you can recap it.
No.
She doesn't have it written down.
No, I have my thoughts on it written down.
Okay. So the gist of what happened was...
I am incapable in caps lock.
You look for your thoughts. I will explain what happened between Harper and Riley.
I said the way I'm incapable of fucking with Harper. I was triggered. Go on.
Okay, so Harper and Riley dated in high school. They've been friends like all throughout childhood, and then they realize they're like into each other more than just friends, and so they start writing each other love notes, and it's a secret and no one knows. And then one of Harper's other friends, I'm assuming one of these dumb girls that we meet in the movie.
That should be the one that's obsessed with Connor.
Probably her, because she's the loudmouth.
She's the fucking cunt of the group.
She is. Oh wow.
She's the one that nobody really likes, but like she has too much tea on you.
Yeah, like, she knows all the tea.
So you can't drop her, but nobody in the friend group really actually likes her.
For sure. Well, no one you don't like her immediately. You're like, this girl, she's not
like you've just known her for so long. You tell yourself you like her, but you don't.
That's how her whole friend group seems in general, like those like vague characters. But so one of those girls finds these love notes between Harper and Riley, and confronts Harper, and Harper's like, Riley's gay and she won't leave me alone. So she outs Riley to the school and I guess the whole world, essentially.
That shit crazy.
So that no one knows that she's gay.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's so messed up. Also, because it's a totally different thing than being outed by your sister when you're 30.
Yeah, absolutely.
You outed an adolescent, which is a way more stressful time, I would think, to come out. Yeah. You don't really know who you are yet.
What drove me insane about that and like made me love Riley so much was that she just forgave her.
She did. But like, then you understand because it's been like 15 years, let's say.
I know, but dude, I would have been. Maybe it's because I'm not 30 yet. And maybe when I'm 30, I'll understand. But sometimes I'm still like, that fucking bitch. And it's like literally like grade school beef. And I'm like, why am I still like triggered about like random scenarios? And that was a big deal.
It is a big deal. Because this is clearly like a very tight-knit community. Everyone goes to the same Christmas parties.
And the fact that, okay, it almost looks like Harper never apologized.
No, for sure.
Which is nuts to me. Because, like, I am an avid apologizer. Like, I apologize way too much. It's something I'm working on. Like, I need to stop apologizing for shit that's literally not my fault.
Yeah. But, and this is what I hate when people say that. They're like, oh, if you apologize for everything, that means you don't really feel sorry. You just say that. And I'm like, that's not true.
No,
I feel guilt for all situations.
Yeah, I was raised Catholic in Latin America.
Yeah.
I will die feeling guilt. Like.
And it's interesting because people who don't feel guilt, because the people who claim that if you say sorry all the time, you don't really mean it, they don't feel guilt. These are the kind of people who are like, I feel guilt for nothing. I'm never wrong. And it's like, hey.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's like, try even going through this life where all I feel is guilt.
It's
and shame
What's
and
the
hatred of myself.
what's the dumbest thing you feel guilt for? Like, no, tell me one thing you felt guilty for yesterday that you should not feel guilty for.
Oh, I didn't wash our sheets yesterday, and I felt guilty because it had been a week.
And did Derek say something about it?
No, I thought about
Just
it.
felt guilty.
It bothered me all day long. Oh, I've also been feeling guilty that I'm spending too much money on snacks.
Yesterday, I went to CVS.
Uh-huh.
And I thought I had a CVS card, and I don't. And then, the lady was asking me, like, do you want a CVS card? And I said, I really wanted one. But I said no, because there was people on the line, and I was scared that I was gonna make them late in case they had somewhere to be.
That's really funny.
So I just paid like $10 more than I had to, probably.
I have to give you my mom's phone number. It works at almost all places that need a phone number for the discount.
Oh my God. You have my Hulu. I should have your mom's discount.
You can confuse you. I'll just send you my mom's phone number. I don't think it's even her. It's not even a number anymore. It's like my old landline that I grew up with, but it works at CVS. It works at Ralph's. It works at anywhere that has a discount card. It works.
I understand like the panic that I get. Like, oh my God, I'm making them late. Or like
I would feel it too.
Yesterday, my roommate Lauren, people that don't know this, her alarm rang at 5.
Oh, that's so.
She didn't wake up. I did. And then it rang again at 6, and she didn't wake up. I did. But then my thought, instead of being like, fucking Lauren woke me up, I'm like, have I been waking Lauren up? Like, my first thought is, have I been waking Lauren up with my alarms?
Oh, see, that's one thing I would never feel guilty for, because I always immediately turn my alarms off.
I mean, me too. But like, I just thought it was funny that was my first thought. And then I was showering and I'm like, she woke me up though. Like, why?
That's funny. That's the stupidest thing you've ever felt guilty for sure.
I'm sure I'm going to come up with something stupider later.
Yeah, but what's her face? Harper feels no guilt in this
Harper felt no guilt. Like, I don't. Okay, so
she barely feels guilty about how she's treating Abby the whole movie until Abby like straight up is like, I'm done, I'm leaving.
I am basically incapable of fucking with Harper because of this. Because she feels no remorse, and she's that person that's like convincing herself that all of the things that she's saying are valid. Like, all of her feelings are valid, and you just have to like bend over backwards. Duh. And I think that's why at the end they did the Instagram scroll.
Oh, so that you see that they're all like cool with them going out to gay pride stuff?
No. Because that way they can like ease me into like kind of liking Harper. Because like my hatred for Harper is so strong that like I felt bad for her when she starts crying at the end. That was really good acting. I'll give her that. But I was like, this fucking bitch. Like, the way my heart fucking broke when Alison Brie outs her and she goes, that's a lie.
Also, the worst thing about that is she just apologized to Kristen Stewart and was like, I'm going to make it right. And this, that, and the other. Please take me back. Don't leave. This, that, and the other. And then after all that groveling, she's given the opportunity to be like, to own up to it. And she's like, nope, that's a lie. It's like denying Christ. That's how it felt. It felt like
literally, yes, that's how it felt. Judas.
How dare you deny Christ?
Yes. Denied it 3 times.
3 times.
Catholic school. Was your school Catholic?
No, it was Protestant.
Yeah. Do you have like songs?
We had songs. What kind of songs? What do you mean?
Like, I mean, they're gonna be in Spanish, so you're not gonna get it.
Oh.
But like, when you're around like 10th grade, you start listening to the songs and they become bangers, and people start straight up. They're like, Santo, Santo, Santo. Oh, San.
You have to send me recordings of it. That should be the intro music for all of it. Santos, Santos.
It just becomes Cordero de Dios, Cordero de Dios. Te quitas el pecado del mundo, ten piedad de nosotros.
These are way better songs.
They're great. They're bangers. That's why it's so funny.
Ours are like, the Lord bless you and keep you. You know, like just like choral stuff.
Yours sucks.
I know.
Listen, when that happened, and then Dan Levy is the best human in the planet. Because me, as a friend, I would have been like, fuck that bitch, we're leaving. Mm-hmm. And then Dan Levy means, it's like, just because she doesn't love herself doesn't mean she doesn't love you.
Yeah, there's a real heart-to-heart moment. So, yeah, Kristen Stewart and Dan Levy leave after
As they should.
After the denial of the homosexuality. And Kristen Stewart's like really sad and torn up. And she's like, I can't believe she doesn't love me as much as I love her. Then Dan Levy says,
something around the lines of like, just because she, like, your coming out story was great.
Oh yeah, because Kristen Stewart's coming out was so freaking easy. Her parents were like, we love and accept you.
Mm-hmm. And his parents didn't talk to him for 13 years.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of time.
That is a long time.
It's a long ass time.
But that's not unheard of. I've heard of people whose parents don't talk to them at all after they come back out. After they come out. So, yeah. I mean, it is interesting that he paints it in that perspective. Like, you have to be
understanding. Yeah,
considerate of Harper's feelings because it's her parents. It's your parents. You want to live up to their expectations.
He adds, I love Dan Levy as an actor because I feel like his delivery adds so much nuance to like whatever's going on. Because like, maybe it's because like, I don't know, this is my Capricorn moon coming out.
Don't show your Capricorn moon.
The Capricorns are the villains. Like,
I didn't know that.
So, like immediately I'm like enraged. And I'm like, we're going right now. Like, we're leaving the situation. You know that part on Sex and the City, the movie? That's also something we can do, like,
oh yeah,
the Sex and the City characters. I haven't seen the show, but the movie, when Big leaves, dude, I was like 6 years old.
Yeah, but what's the point of the movie if you don't know all the backstory between her and Mr. Big?
I need to watch the entire show, okay? But listen.
Okay.
Big leaves her hanging at the altar, right? And then she's like, I knew you would do this! And she hits him with the flowers, and it's a whole thing, right?
And then there's this beautiful scene with her in this awesome gown.
Yeah.
And getting it into the limo.
But this is what's important.
Okay,
then she's like hitting him, and then she like goes to her friends, and Big goes like, Carrie! Like he's gonna say something, and then Charlotte shows up and goes, No! That's me. The amount of times that I've had that video sent to me by friends being like, why are you Charlotte? Like, why are you Charlotte?
I feel like you should be thanking your friends. Charlotte is who everyone wants to be.
I feel like everybody wants to be Carrie.
No, everyone secretly is Carrie, but everyone wants to be Charlotte.
No, but like, okay, I will fight. Like, if you like do my people dirty, I will fight you.
Well, that's
so
good.
Like, yeah, but then Dan Levy's like a better human, clearly. And he's like, you need to understand that she's going through it. And I'm like, fuck her up. Leave her.
And I'm also like, I get she's going through it, but it's like, you're a 30-year-old woman. You're responsible for your own destiny, you know?
Thank you. Aubrey Plaza fucking had to go through it at like age 14.
Uh-huh.
You know how hard that is?
And she alone.
Class the next day.
She lost her girlfriend and she like
and her best friend
the same day, yeah.
And then she had to like do school projects and like go to kids' house to like build some science shit. Nightmare.
It would have been a nightmare. But oh no, Harper's life is so hard. My parents are politicians.
Tell me about the white privilege you were seeing in this movie.
Oh yeah, I have that right here. White privilege. This movie I think explains how Karens become Karens.
Oh my god, tell me everything about this.
One.
You're Karen.
First of all, I wrote down a lot of notes my second time watching the movie. They mention that they're from Jackson Hole. Like before they moved to Pittsburgh, I guess they lived in Jackson Hole because they say, tell the story about when we took Connor to our old house in Jackson Hole, and they both get chicken pox in the cabin together, right? At the dinner table. So there's this like little story that they tell. I don't know if you know about Jackson Hole, but it's like one of the most expensive places to live.
Oh, okay.
It's like really, really expensive. And I looked up why it was expensive. You want to know why it's so expensive?
Why is it so expensive?
97% of the land in Jackson Hole is owned by Teton County. That's the county that it's in, and is federally owned and managed. That leaves only 2%, because there's like 1% that people can't live in, but only 2% of the land can be used for human development. So the land is extremely expensive because there's only 2% of it they can use to sell.
They have a house, and they got chicken pox in the house.
And they had a house, and they had a cabin there. And so you know that these people are really, really wealthy. They're from Jackson Hole.
I mean, you can tell by the house.
They drop all, also the house is freaking massive. Because like, I think this house is really big, but the house they're in is like 2 times the size of this house. Riley is doing her residency at Johns Hopkins, which is like a really, really big, prestigious school in Baltimore.
I know this.
Abby is doing her PhD at Carnegie Mellon, which is also a really, really prestigious school.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know how much it costs to go to Carnegie Mellon, I looked that up. It's about, without aid, it's $74,491 a year. If you do have aid, it's more like $32,674, which is crazy because that's how much it costs to go to like a state school, is what it costs to go with aid to Carnegie Mellon. So these are like all very, very rich type things. What was the other thing that I wrote down that was like just so much white privilege? Oh, the mother's perception of what it means to be an orphan is crazy.
So
must not have had a Christmas tree. She's making like comments like that.
Oh my God, she's being insanity. She's like, you never had your own room before. So like, this bitch literally saw Harry Potter, and she's like, okay, that's how it is.
Yeah, it's totally crazy. And I know none of these are like specifically white privilege things, but these are privilege. It's privilege. And it's so funny that like also all their problems are privilege problems. Like, we can't be ourselves because then you will judge us this way. I can't be my true authentic homosexual self. I can't be the daughter who is having a failing marriage. I can't be the wife that wants to do karate because we're trying to be perceived as this perfect white family. So those were a bunch of things I had just written down, and like, oh, this is privilege. This is how Karens become Karens. Like, if you watch this movie and you see all these women and the way they act and how catty they are, it's like, oh, this is why people are Karens, because they're brought up in this atmosphere, and then they say stuff. And it's like,
I want you to tell me specific lines that you think should be like on mugs.
On mugs.
Yeah, or sweaters. Iconic.
Did I have anything like that? I didn't pick out anything specifically.
Okay, well, I have 2. I can't
you say yours. I'll look. What?
But I can't believe we never talked about the mall cop.
Oh yeah, we gotta get to the mall cops.
Dude, this is gonna be so long for you to edit. But
no,
yeah,
it's not. It's all one thing. We've not even had to break for potty breaks on this one. So
okay, cool.
I'm just gonna have it all be one continuous podcast.
Or people listen to us talk for 3 hours. Great.
Well, we're almost done, and this has only been like an hour and a half.
Okay, we're good.
So, the mall cops. There's a scene where Kristen Stewart accidentally steals something because the kids put it in her bag.
Alison Brie's kids get a necklace and put it in her bag.
And then there's mall cops.
There's a mall cop, and
there's 2 mall cops.
There's 3. What about Eugene?
Yeah, but the two main mall cops, they should have given them more time in the movie.
I loved it.
That's so funny. So it's Lauren Lapkus from Orange is the New Black, and the Lauren Lapkus, she has her own podcast. It's very funny. And the guy who plays Jonah in Veep, I don't know his real name. But he's really funny.
I don't know why just mall cops take their job so seriously. And I don't know if it's because they're bored.
Yes.
Or like there's few things that I find more annoying than like mall cops like catching an attitude. Maybe people at stores being like, "Is everything okay? Do you need anything?" I'm like,
stop.
I have social anxiety. Do not talk to me.
I don't need any help. If I need help, I'd ask you.
Yeah. But I'm like, she's fucking bored.
Yeah.
She's bored. It's like that never happens at like Target, like stores that like
that are busy.
Yeah. You go to a fucking boutique and they're like, "Do you need any help?" And you're like, "I'm actually poor. I'm just looking
I'm just
and
wasting
touching things
time until I have to go to an appointment later."
Yeah, like.
Leave me alone.
And then okay, I have this one friend that whenever we like would go to like really expensive stores just to look, oh my god, so such a she's from Orange County. It's such a like a thing that I would never have the balls to do. Like let's say we're at like Gucci, something like that. Like we have no business.
Why are you even in Gucci?
Being a fucking what?
Why are you even in Gucci?
Exactly. For like in the class break. And she's like looking at things, and then a fucking nicely dressed lady or gentleman comes in and he's like, "Can I help you girls with anything?" And she goes, "We're just looking." And I'm like the confidence, that level of like white confidence of like, I don't need to explain myself. I just want to touch all of this because I'm looking.
Because I'm just looking.
I'd be like, "No, I'll let you know. Sorry, no." Like, I would have been apologizing.
I'm so sorry. I'm even walked into the store. Ignore me.
Terrible.
So funny. And they definitely know you don't belong there because it's not like you're dressed in the kind of outfits you should be dressed in to be in Gucci.
Dude, I don't know, because it's also LA, and like yesterday I almost went into Whole Foods and I didn't, but I was analyzing the line and I was like, it's really funny how half the people look homeless and then the other half look like Fashion Nova rejects.
Well, sometimes being a Fashion Nova is about looking homeless. I don't know if you've noticed that.
No, you don't know what Fashion Nova is, clearly, if you're making that joke.
I guess I don't. I guess a fashionista is sometimes
No, Fashion Nova is... Sam, if I had to explain the joke, then it's upsetting. Fashion Nova is the brand that like Cardi B wears and the Kardashians wear.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're all thick and like cinched and...
Oh, like those bodycon kind of dresses.
Like bodycon with the like long hair and the big eyelashes.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Hey, look, I'm pretending to be Persian, but I'm really not."
She said it, but yes.
Sometimes they do that. That's like the look right now.
Yep. So it's like half people that legitimately look homeless, and that could be their look. Because like honestly, that's half of like, you cannot tell me that anything Patagonia doesn't look homeless.
Hey, that's not true. It doesn't look homeless. It just looks like you chop wood for a living. Like how I look right now. Well, this is not from Patagonia. And also, that stuff is expensive.
I know, which is so funny to me because you look homeless.
Anyway. So the mall cops, how do we get away from the mall cops?
The mall cops? How did we even get away from the mall cops? I think they just cut to...
Well, they're just really great. They're really funny. They're interrogating her. They have all the lights off in the room, you know. I felt this was my biggest qualm with the whole movie. Everyone that was funny in it did not get enough time. I did not see enough of Jane. I did not see enough about Dan Levy. And I did not see enough of the mall cops. And those were the most funny characters in the whole film.
I would have liked to see more of them, but I honestly don't know what I would have cut out.
I don't know what you would cut out either, but it wasn't a particularly long movie. They probably could have made it work.
She has
saying. I don't have the answers.
I have two lines that also, we can't leave without me saying this. I love that the mom calls it the Instagram.
Yes, that's very cute.
And the Instagram feed is so perfect. It's so mom.
It is very mom. I like that she's also using her
Right.
iPad to take all the pictures, because that's only moms take pictures on iPads.
Moms love iPads. They really do.
They really do.
Like iPad. This is my mom with my iPad for Instagram. It's a whole thing, and she puts it like here.
I put it all the way up.
And they go, oh my god, remember when you couldn't zoom in at Instagram photos, and then they would like double click trying to zoom in, and then they would like a photo?
Oh.
Dude, the amount of time. I cannot tell you the amount of times that I'd be like, Mom, he's so cute, look at this guy. And she'd be like, and then like accidentally double tap, and then I'm like liking a photo of like 2017 and like 2019.
Oh, that's
because my
worst.
mom double tapped.
Mom, how can you do this?
She did it at least 3 times with like all kinds of people. Like, I don't know what's worse, like double tapping like some guy's Instagram photo, or like double tapping somebody's mom's sister who we heard like a crazy for. Then I'm like, look at her photos, look at her trip to Bali. Who does she think she is? And then we fucking double tap. She double taps a photo because she wanted to zoom in.
I think it's definitely worse when you double tap a photo of like a woman's Instagram than a man's, because like the man will be like, huh, that's weird. But the girl will be like, they were talking about me. I know they were talking about me.
Facts. Okay, these are my favorite, there's better lines, I guess, but these are standouts.
Your favorite lines.
Wait, where's the other one that I like? Oh, this is my husband. We met on Bumble.
Oh, that was funny. That was one of the donors, right?
I thought it was so funny.
I thought that was funny.
I was like, did Bumble pay for this? Because it's great. And the best line of the entire movie, I want to tattoo on my forehead. I don't have any secrets, but I'm an ally.
Oh, Jane, I love that line. And she puts both her hands on each of her sisters. We didn't talk about when they ruined Jane's painting.
Oh my god, Jane had a terrible painting, but they ruined it.
It also wasn't that terrible. It was a really well done painting. It was just a boring choice.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was they destroy her painting when they're fighting because they're full on fist fighting.
In front of everyone at this donor party.
And they're fucking 30.
They are 30. And then they take the painting and who gets it over their head? Is it Alison Brie that puts it over Harper's head, or vice versa?
Can we talk about Alison Brie's business and how she casually name drops Gwyneth Paltrow?
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was so funny.
So we didn't mention this earlier, but Alison Brie's used to be a like really successful lawyer, and so was her husband, but they gave it all up so they can make gift vessels?
Gift baskets.
They kept calling them vessels, not baskets.
Yeah, like curated vessel experiences.
I know, I was like, what the hell?
And then she goes, Gwyneth really likes them.
She called her Gwenny. Gwenny really likes it.
Gwenny.
Paltrow, that is. Goop just picked it up.
The amount of times that like Gwyneth Paltrow has her name like dropped on movies and books. Like I'm sorry. Like I love Goop. I fuck with Goop heavy.
I never tried it.
No, it's not a thing you eat, Sam. The website.
I thought it was like a face stuff that you put on your
No, there's a bunch of stuff. There's stickers to like ward off bad energies. There's milkshakes. There's there's so many. You should go on their website. It's great.
I'm definitely not going on there.
It's insanity, and people get really
weird
because it's really expensive. And I'm like, even if it's a con, it's so funny to me.
Oh, that is funny.
Like, this is so funny that Gwyneth Paltrow convinced all of you that if you put on this sticker on your phone, the 5G is not going to affect you.
That's what it's for?
Yeah, there's a bunch of like weird shit like that, like for sprays for like vampire energy cleansing.
Huh.
It's great.
So it's just like an LA
it's like
gift kit.
Kind of like a mockery of the worst parts of LA and wellness. And I just think that she's just doing it to fuck with people now. At this point, it's just to fuck with people. And I'm like, as you should. Like, this is really entertaining to me.
Okay. We already said that Jane gets her book deal at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, I
courtesy
love
of
the
Daniel Levy.
detail that Jane couldn't stop fighting as a kid. They like casually mention it.
They did. They casually mention that she couldn't
That
stop
they
fighting.
both
She also had night terrors. There are a lot of problems with Jane, apparently, but she's turned out just fine. Everyone else is a mess.
I love her posture. Like everything, all of her like her acting is so good. Like it's such a character.
Good body work.
It's so good. Like oh my god, the face, how she.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. Great. I want her and Jim Carrey to play daughter and father.
Oh, that would make sense. I like that. They have similar faces too.
Yeah. It's a great daughter. Here's my pitch, Hollywood. Jim Carrey, Jane, forgot her name, but she's also a writer. I think she should write it.
Mary Hollins.
Mary Holland. We should do a spy comedy, daughter-father duo.
Uh-huh.
And then I want the supervillain to be somebody completely that we haven't seen for a while, maybe Cameron Diaz. That'd be good.
Oh, yeah. That would be good.
Cameron Diaz, and wait, I want her to be a lesbian. And I want the girlfriend to be Priyanka Chopra.
Oh, I like her.
I'll be taking calls at 626.
We still need to rate all of the eligible
bachelors and bachelorettes.
Bachelors and bachelorettes in this film, and who we would want. Who would we pick as our boyfriend or girlfriend material?
Okay, I want you to think, like, tell me who you think I would pick.
I already know who you picked because you kind of gave yourself away earlier.
I know who you are going to pick.
Because I probably gave myself away earlier.
You're going to pick Jane.
No, that's not who I was going to pick.
What? What are you picking?
I picked Riley.
We both picked Riley?
I thought you were going to pick Connor because you were like,
oh my god, no, I love Connor, but there's no, it'd be super heteronormative of me to pick the one male character when we're doing the lesbian rom-com.
Hey, there's other male characters. They're just not in the girls.
Dan Levy, who's also gay.
Okay.
Although Dan Levy would be a good one. Okay, actually, no, he'd be a great friend, not a good boyfriend. Because he's keeping way too many tabs.
He is. He's the suffocating one.
I keep the tabs. You don't keep the tabs on me. That's not how it works. We've been through this.
Okay, why do you pick Riley?
Because I just think that that's the one person that I don't think I would ever get bored of hanging out with.
Yeah. She seems the most chill.
As much as I love Jane, I would be tired at some point.
Jane's exhausting. It's a lot of energy.
Tired. It's too much energy.
They constantly have to tell her to settle down the first scene that you see Jane in.
Oh my god, that's so fucked up. They treat her like she's a dog. I hate it.
The mom's like, maybe you should go home and take a nap before you go out to dinner with us tonight.
You don't have any fun without me. And I'm like,
poor Jane.
But no, okay, I would pick Connor, but I don't feel like it's fair because like there is basically no character development.
We don't really know Connor other than he's a handsome man.
He's just completely unproblematic.
Yeah.
And supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And I like him for that. But Riley is just a fully fledged character with no like.
Yeah, we know a lot about Riley.
That.
Yes, the maturity.
It's insanity. Like I cannot believe it.
She's so much more mature than every other woman in this movie.
Every other character. Period.
I think Dan Levy, the John character, is very mature as well.
He's also, in my head, he has like ideals that it's like anti-marriage, anti-ideal, like very set ideals for some things.
I don't think that's so much it as he doesn't want the boundaries of a traditional, like that's why he's anti-marriage. Okay. But I get what you're saying. It's a little like.
Yeah, honestly, they'd be great friends.
Mm-hmm. But Riley is for sure my pick. I would totally date her. She'd be great girlfriend material. She's very understanding. She's
smart, right? She's a lawyer.
She's smart. She's she's doing a residency at Johns Hopkins, so she's a doctor.
Oh, okay.
And that's why everyone keeps showing her like their moles and stuff. Oh my God. They make these like small like little jokes about, oh, maybe I should show her my finger and see what she thinks with a mole between my toes. But she's really cool.
She's hot as a doctor. Crazy.
Mm-hmm. She is very self-aware of who she knows who she is. I think that's what's most attractive.
That's yes, 100%.
She knows exactly who she is. And I will say Kristen Stewart's character is sort of like that too.
Yes, I see that. Okay, I feel about the Kristen Stewart character the same way I feel like I'm going to feel about every Kristen Stewart character for the rest of my life. And the same way I feel about Clara in The Nutcracker.
Oh.
Clara doesn't do shit. She's just there. She's just there and everything happens around her.
I agree. And I would say that is something that happens in books and movies a lot. And that is for the purpose of the reader or the viewer to have someone to portray as themselves. Like they put themselves on that person. Yeah. So that's kind of the role, is to be the viewer.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. But for that, I'm just like, I want a full character.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to be with someone who's supposed to be me anyway. That would be weird.
Straight facts.
So we can agree. Riley is.
It's Riley. It's gotta be Riley.
I'm still like torn up about the fact that they don't end up together. And there was a moment halfway through the film that was like, are they gonna end up together? Because then I really like this movie.
Me too. I thought they would for a second, and for another second I got mad when she got back together with Harper. Mm-hmm. But then at the end I was like, this is sweet. I like this. But it took me a second.
It is.
Took me a second.
Sweet.
Because I remember that Twitter was like on one, saying that it should have been Aubrey Plaza and Kristen Stewart.
They're right.
And I was, what? They're right?
I think they're right. Okay, sorry. I didn't interrupt you in the middle of
No, I'm just thinking. Do not interrupt me. I'm thinking that they're probably the best, but that doesn't, like, Kristen Stewart just loved Harper too much.
And also they have history, because you have to, we as the viewer, we're only coming into their relationship as this is all happening. But for actual Kristen Stewart character, she has all this time that she spent with Harper and all this love that they've cultivated before this experience. So it's like she can't turn her back on those memories either. So I understand why we feel she should be with Abby. And not Abby. She is Abby. She should be with Riley. All their names are like the same kind of name.
Very weird. It's like, yes, I don't know what's the random name, but it's the same.
And that's another instance of white privilege, or all the Rileys and Abbies and Harpers. Sloan?
Sloan. Bro, if I ever meet a Sloan in my life, I'm gonna have a laughing fit.
I only know one other Sloan, and that's the Sloan from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Same, Sloan. I don't know any other ones.
My cousin was almost named Sloan for that movie.
That's a dangerous name. You gotta be really pretty to pull that off.
You really do. It's a serious name.
You cannot name your daughter Sloan unless you're Angelina Jolie and you're having a baby with Brad Pitt. Because, like, you can't like it. Because, like, if she's mediocre looking.
Oh, it's a mediocre Sloan?
Yeah, it's going to be hiding. Like, a mediocre summer.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. Yeah. It's gross just thinking about it.
I know.
Think about these things when you name your children, people.
Please do. I think about this all the time.
I think that's all we had to cover, really.
Yeah.
This was boyfriend material.
This was boyfriend material.
No, this was girlfriend material.
Oh my God, yes. This was girlfriend material today.
I'll write that in the description.
Mm-hmm. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Follow us on Instagram. You can
follow Sam at Beth Sam Lopez.
And you can follow Gabby at Hey Gabby Mendez.
Also, you can follow Derek's podcast. But you already follow that probably because he's famous. Anyways.
At Spoil the Beans.
Spoil the Beans.
And follow our Instagram for boyfriend material.
And voting and keeping up with stuff.
Yeah. We're going to be putting these out every Tuesday.
Yes. On Tuesdays, we put out podcasts. On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
We do. I got to pick out something pink for that. I have to find something pink to wear.
That's a great part of Mean Girls. I love that part.
I know that she ends up wearing
Damien.
Damien's shirt, and it's like massive on her.
And she's like, there's the image of like all the plastics looking polished, and then.
And they're wearing like that 2000s kind of look, like that, like those tight, like button down kind of shirts and like polos.
Dude, the 2000s were wild.
It was a good time.
I was 9. For sure.
Well, this has been boyfriend, girlfriend material. Yeah, this is awesome. Follow us. We said that already. And have a good time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye.
Bye. Toodles.